Okay, I'm going to call the Planning Commission meeting to order. Ted is out under the weather tonight, so I'll chair. Got a fairly short agenda tonight. First of all, other public comment on the agenda items. Hearing none, we'll move on. The minutes from the June 23rd meeting. Everybody had an opportunity to review those? Okay. Any comments? I'll entertain a motion to approve them as they are.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as distributed.
I'll second that.
Any further comments? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, carries unanimously. All right, next up. Zoning officers report. Have at it, Scott.
This month of July, we had 6 zoning permits. Report from NDIA, we have 26 active permits currently, and 23 inspections were performed in the month of June for NDIA.
The active permits over what time period? Starting when with them?
Some of them are several months old, some of them are...
So some will go back to Gus.
Right, oh yeah.
Okay.
These are ones that have not had their final inspection yet.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
And that's all I have.
okay. Any questions on zoning? Okay. Engineers report. Scott.
The Greenbrier Road project is finished. The final paperwork is at the Conservation Districts. They'll give us our last check coming up. Everything's good. Conservation District's happy. Property owners are happy. I think the township's happy.
Okay.
Okay.
Myerstown culvert replacement, the contractor started today, doing some preliminary work, so he's going to be starting now, and he anticipates about a four-week construction timeframe.
Okay.
Update to the south.
By the way, before you leave that one,
Sure.
what's the coordination like with Brightspeed? Because we're going to have to move one of their cables there, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay,
Haven't heard anything.
okay, all right. If you
Not
need,
since I sent him stuff like 6 weeks ago.
yeah, if you need help, tell me. You'll probably need help.
I probably need him.
I
Yep.
would say so.
Okay,
The update to the saldo, final drafts ready for the supervisors. The solicitors already looked at it and made his comments.
okay, there are two things I should have mentioned. Andy's obviously not here tonight, he's not going to be here tonight, so we'll pick up the next round of that work when he's back in a month. The one thing is, did Todd make some changes, or make some comments, I guess is probably a better way of saying it?
Yes, he made some suggestions, yeah.
Okay, and,
Just in the legalese part of it,
okay, and were those changes made?
yes.
Okay,
Andy worked with him, with Todd, to come up to something that's acceptable to both of them and to me as well.
okay, all right. Okay, then next phase of that then is it'll go to the supervisors for their approval.
Right.
Okay. All right, any questions on any of that? Okay,
Plans. Joseph Stiles, one lot subdivision. It was approved by you. It's on the agenda for the next Board of Supervisors meeting for their final approval. EV clearing, dealer property. Their engineer has responded to my second round of comments. I received that last week. I haven't had a chance to review the response yet. There are some zoning issues, so they submitted a request for variances to the zoning hearing board. Talk more about that later.
okay,
Chronister single family plan. I talked to their engineer last week. He said he's working on comments with the I told him the board is going to have to take action by August 8th, August 17th. So he's preparing a request for an extension.
Okay, so the supervisor's going to need that, their next meeting, that extension,
Right.
okay?
And I told their engineer that, their surveyor that.
Okay.
You're welcome to make a recommendation to them when you want to grant that extension. I'm not sure how typically if the planning commission weighs in on that.
If they ask us, we'll address it. I think if we have no information other than they're going to need an extension, we don't do anything. Yep.
Yeah, other than the initial submission 3 months ago, I don't.
We don't have any. Yeah, so if they asked us for something, we'd look at it and respond, but they didn't, and we won't. Okay?
And the lot addition for Lehman Starner, I just received that. I haven't had a chance to review that. So board action for that plan is due by October 26th.
And what is that and why are we involved? It's Dickinson Township, right?
Yes, but there's a corner of the property that's in Huntington. And
Okay.
we're not really affected by it because the property line change is on the other township, the other county side.
Okay.
But since a corner of the existing tract is in Huntington, legally, we have to review it and the township has to sign off.
Yeah, we have.
And that's actually not our county either, is it?
No.
It's Cumberland, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. All right, so then where we are right now is nothing to do. We don't even need to table that.
Correct.
There's nothing to do and,
None of the plans are up for action.
yeah, okay. And when we review that, there's still really nothing to do because it's not our decision to make. We just have to concur, in essence, concur with Dickinson.
Well, the part of the property that's in Huntington Township, I mean, it's still required to meet zoning and
Yeah,
and everything else.
yeah. Okay.
You still have to make the decision, it's not a very difficult.
No, there's nothing to it. Okay, just wanted to be clear. And what's the New Bloomfield part of that? That's the address of their engineer? Because that's the address I keep seeing. Burgett?
Yeah, that's,
Or surveyor maybe, huh?
yeah, that's their surveyor.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
good enough. Okay. All right, ready for new business? Do new business.
Old business,
I'm sorry, old business. Go
the
ahead.
land development plan for EV clearing storage area is still under review. That's the update.
Okay,
Okay, move on to new business.
yeah, that's, okay. And this is, none of this has to do with the White Church Road property, right?
Correct.
This is all Old Harrisburg.
Correct.
Okay, just want to be clear. All right, okay, new business now.
The property owners requested a variance. I gave you some information regarding that. I copied their application,
Yep.
copy the site plan, section of the ordinance that they're requesting relief from.
Okay, why don't you just give us a brief summary, I mean, I read it. A brief summary of the reasons or the, what, four items they're looking for variance on.
The property is zoned commercial. And it's a unique situation in that it's not your typical commercial development where there's paved parking and customers come in and there's a building with four walls and a roof and things like that.
Yep,
So the first variance request is that, the requirement is that all open parking areas shall be properly drained and shall be provided with an all-weather surface. So right now, there's not going to be any customer parking available. They're just going to need 1 or 2 spaces for the equipment operator. And currently, it's all going to be stone. They're not proposing any asphalt pavement.
Why wouldn't they be able to have stone anyway? Is that a condition in our commercial zone that it has to be paved?
Yeah,
Okay.
all parking areas must have an all-weather surface.
Okay,
Which means bituminous asphalt or concrete or double coat of stone chips.
okay. All right, gotcha.
The next requirement is curbs and sidewalks are required to be surrounding parking areas and within all public rights of way abutting the parking areas. Again, there's not going to be sidewalks to direct pedestrian traffic to the building entrances and whatnot because there's no buildings. There's no need for concrete curbs. All the drainage is going to be sheet flow to the stormwater areas.
Okay.
The next requirement is that at least 2 separate points of ingress and egress are required from an arterial or major collector road. I'm not sure why this is included in the zoning ordinance, but it is, and there's no way that PennDOT's going to permit 2 access points on Old Harrisburg Road. You know, in the past 10, 15 years, they've really cracked down on the number of access points on the state highway.
Well, no, could they deny an access at all completely? I mean, if they come out and evaluate it and say,
They could.
you know, this is not safe.
Yeah,
What-
oh, absolutely.
What's your options then, or there is none?
Yeah, I don't know, I can't speak for PennDOT.
Okay, well, I just wondered how that worked, I mean,
It'd be a problem.
Yeah.
yeah.
I know a lot of times when there's safety issues, they'll have restrictions of movement on the driveway. Sometimes it'll only be a right in, right out instead of full movement, something like that.
Yeah, that's an option. On a road like that, I don't understand that. but-
So we basically have no impact on that at all.
No, we have an impact because our code calls for 2.
Yeah, I get that. but
So he has to have a variance from our code to even be considered.
To even apply to the state.
And municipal concurrence is required for a PennDOT permit.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
The property owners here, I don't know if you want to hear from him first, or if you have any specific questions that you'd like to ask.
Is the zoning hearing set?
No, the date has not been set yet. The zoning hearing solicitor has all the information, and he's working with the property owner and the property owner's engineer to come up with a date,
Okay.
which will be in August, sometime in August.
My memory on these is that we, the planning commission, don't make a recommendation, but it seems like your expectation is for us to make a recommendation?
I was told that the planning commission wants to make a review and recommendation for all issues. So I'm trying to accommodate that.
Okay.
And this affords the property owner to hear some preliminary comments of what he can expect from the zoning hearing board.
Well, one comment I'd have is, I don't think anything we're going to say is going to influence the zoning hearing board. My experience is it hasn't in the past, but, so that would be point 1. Point 2, I appreciate the request, because I think I'm one of the ones that made it, that we want to review these things. I did not view that as us making a recommendation, because I don't think our recommendation carries anything with the zoning hearing board anyway. That would be up to them whether they wanted a recommendation from us. So that would be the second point. I think this is a good forum for a discussion, no problem there. And I think we have some neighbors. I don't know if you guys want to ask any questions, since we have the property owner here. So open forums aren't necessarily where we are right now, but I don't mind if there are questions with the property owner here, if anything. There are a couple specific things. I don't know, Elvin, if you want to comment on the what you expect your truck traffic to be. This is going to come up at the hearing board clearly, and probably some of these same people that are here now are going to be at the hearing board and have input. Do you want to comment on that so that everybody here is aware of what's in front of us right now?
I mean, with truck traffic, we're actually going to downsize this to actually just a firewood operation and pull the soilers out of it. So it's just a firewood operation is all we want to do there.
Okay.
So truck traffic is, I don't really have a good number, I guess, off the top of my head for how much traffic would be there. It's not going to be a lot. Like I said, we do roughly 40 tractor trailer loads of firewood a year is what we put out. You know, triaxle it back and forth to the other property. That's probably, I don't know, equivalent to maybe 200 loads throughout 6 months, 7 months of time that we would be taking it over to the other property for retail sale.
And there'll be no retail sale out of this facility?
There's no retail sale, there's no public coming in, it's just our operation with our employees.
Okay. Guys have any questions, comment? Marie?
Yes, I have a question concerning the amount of employees you'll be having working there on that property for firewood.
Between two to four people.
Okay. And you had indicated at previous, I believe it was the Board of Supervisors. No, it was at a special planning, at the Planning Commission meeting. You indicated that your season for splitting wood, et cetera, is August through the fall, and then you end in November. You sell out by November. Is that, okay.
Sometimes December, other
Okay.
things.
So one of the questions I have, and for this board, are you going to be, you're going to be working there, you have no buildings. Are you going to be using porta potties for this permanent commercial business?
Yeah.
Is that allowed? It is.
Yep.
Okay. And in reference to the gravel on the property, there's going to be heavy tractor trailers bringing, trunks of trees in. Isn't that gravel going to just be literally buried in any kind of soil?
Well, I'm not speaking for his design, because we don't have that. But you can use gravel on crushed stone and have as much weight as a tarmac would be. So you can absolutely do that. It just has to be prepared properly. Yep.
And you had indicated there was going to be noise, probably in line with what highway traffic. So you're taking out this soil processing that you were going to do. Is that going to lessen the noise for the operation with the firewood splitting?
I would say the operation's still about the same.
It would be the same. Okay.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Thank you.
Oh, one of the things is the time frame for your work. Okay, since you're now going to have is that going to be a seasonal place that you're working, or because you're only doing firewood from August through November?
I wouldn't say it's gonna be a seasonal place. I mean, we could be manufacturing at any time. It depends on if employees are not busy. Might need to be able to send somebody over there to do something.
Okay, so you would be getting these tree trunks in throughout the year?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yes.
Because in the summer, you had indicated at one meeting that you're going to run from daylight to dark. And usually you run at 7 a.m. and you're done by 3 or 4, but you also indicated, I wouldn't be, I'm not saying I wouldn't be over there working a little later. So what's a little later? Like in the summer, it's usually 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock?
Daylight till dark.
Excuse me?
Daylight till dark.
Okay, so the neighbors are going to be listening to noise all that from 7 a.m. to
It's not gonna
9.
produce a lot of noise.
I think highway traffic noise, which you equated it to, is quite noisy. So, okay.
We do have noise ordinances and nuisance ordinances.
Mhm.
The only thing I'd think of would be chainsaws.
That firewood processor, that's usually pulled by a semi, and it's a big unit, or how you guys do
It
it?
run 650 dump can pull it around.
Yeah, but it's not a log splitter like you have at your house, it's a pretty big.
It's the size of a 10 by, well, an 8 by 12 trailer with a small little conveyor off the back. Chainsaw noise is no louder than a weed whacker or a lawnmower.
Both are annoying.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
But we don't use a chainsaw to cut the wood. The processor has its own bar saw, so it doesn't have a 2-cycle motor like a weed whacker sound.
I have a question on the entrance that he was talking about the last time, down in the hollow. It's where he wants to put an entrance and exit out of. Can you picture tractor trailer pulling out of that, down there in that hollow, and somebody coming from Heidelberg, going over the speed limit, cresting that hollow, and a tractor trailer full length across both lanes of that road?
Again, that's a PennDOT.
Well, I can't picture that, but that's going to be the PennDOT call, not our call.
They'll have to do the traffic study,
Yeah.
right?
You
Decide.
gotta get site clearance and all that.
That'll be part of that discussion.
Is PennDOT aware
Okay.
that he's gonna be bringing tractor trailers?
Well, they'll be aware of everything we're aware of, so yes, and more, because they'll ask more questions than we will, because they have a bigger mandate than we do.
And
You don't hide anything from PennDOT, just to be clear.
how about the county? Now, the county last time was under the impression that he was gonna do retail sales and storage. Well, now that completely changed to
Yes.
manufacturing of firewood.
Yes.
Is the county aware of that?
The county will be aware of everything, we in PennDOT, I'm on the County Planning Commission, we will be aware of everything that we're aware of here.
Just curious.
Yep, that's how it works.
That was my questions, was I have the comments from the county here. And as the plan said at this time, again, it may have changed.
It did change.
Which happens.
Yep,
It says topsoil storage and sales operation. So if we approve what the county has as of now, anybody could come in here and say, well, we're only gonna be doing firewood, but his permit says this, and then you have a problem like we have currently on Lake Church Road where, you know, that's what I think people want to avoid, is any issues that we've already had before with this other operation. And Andy makes it pretty clear in here that if it's manufacturing, it has to go for the conditional use hearing. You know, he says that in there, so that's to protect, you know, okay, if you want to do firewood, this is what you're doing, but you want to start hauling mulch over and selling, well, that's different.
That's
now.
different.
See, that wasn't upkept with the last operation, which is why we got all these rumors and compost and all these other things. It should really definitely be done that way, and I know you guys are still looking at it. That
Well,
was
and it
my-
will, yeah.
That was my only point, that the conditions need to be, it needs to be clear what it is.
Right.
So if it's pitched as firewood and it's approved as firewood or whatever, that's what it is. It's not 5 years down the road and a mulch pile you can see from Old 15 across the highway and a bunch of pissed off neighbors. Because we got way more people. This is going to affect more people than White Church Road, in my opinion. as far as road, neighbors, and everything else.
Yeah.
Which I know you guys are aware of that.
Yeah.
but
Agreed, and understood. I
That's-
agree with that point.
Mine in a nutshell.
Okay, okay. And compared to what was done in the mid-1990s, you can
Right.
understand.
Exactly.
We're
And that's
way-
why I know
way
that
ahead of
was
that.
its own bird.
Yeah,
Not saying that that would happen again, but things around here don't always go the way they should.
Yeah.
so.
yeah. Much easier to capture things when you have PennDOT, county, township, and a zoning variance involved.
Right.
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
No, and one of the things that was brought up at a previous meeting, Mr. Diller indicated the property is going to be cut down lower so that noise in any operation cannot be seen from, by the neighbors. So that's a little, is he hiding something? I mean, I know, okay, this is just being devil's advocate. Because of the because of the issue at White Church Road,
It's to help with sound. is
Yep.
what's
Okay.
there,
Yeah.
what the idea is, and so people can now see the operation to help with that. Exactly.
And any of us
Right.
can go inspect the operation anytime we want to.
no, but you know, the problem with the previous, with the other property.
I'm not presupposing anybody is
Yeah.
hiding anything.
No.
No, I did, yeah, that was probably an incorrect word I used,
Cut that
but,
down to the grade that's out there by.
Let's have one conversation, please.
And we have all the trees burning on the top. We're gonna put a berm up along between us and that house that's beside us, the trees down over there. Like I said, the operation, you're gonna have trouble hearing it. We're asking to move the driveway down to there to try to help with you neighbors, so your neighbors don't have a problem with the trucks coming in and out. If we keep the driveway up top where it originally is, the site distance and all
Yep.
of that will not be an issue. And then you will hear the trucks in and out. So I'm trying to work with you guys at the same time. The site distance from there to the top of that hill is more site distance than Rudders has when you get off of 234 and come down to Rudders. Tractor trailers pull out of there every day.
All day.
All day.
Many tractor trailers.
Yeah.
I myself have pulled out of there. I know what it takes for trucks to get in and out. Our trucks aren't as long as a 53-foot tractor trailer. We have a lot shorter trailers for logs. So they'll be pulling in most of the time loaded. They won't be going out of there loaded, so they can, take off out of there a lot faster. The only thing that would be coming out of there loaded would mostly be a triaxle.
Okay. Oh, yes.
I just wanted to check, you were talking about the berm areas you're putting in, is that also gonna be a berm area that's facing, Old Harrisburg Road? Are you gonna have it on
That's
this?
where the cut down is.
Okay, and I apologize for using the word hide, because what I was thinking, was, if you have a berm area, and you've got these trucks coming out, it's not visible to people driving.
There's no, that's.
That wouldn't be an
It's
issue?
not a berm,
No.
it's,
It'd be back away from.
Yes,
Yeah.
our
Oh, it would.
our code is written to accommodate the fact that it has to be back away for
Stay that
visibility.
right away, he has to stay out of.
Yes,
Yeah, because at the other property, it seems it's close to, and that may have been because of a litigation matter, and maybe that's why that was put in, closer to the
Yeah.
road? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
okay,
Again,
so,
I apologize for the height.
okay,
As I
so,
said,
go ahead.
No, I just meant about driving and visibility on Old Harrisburg Road, that's what I was concerned about.
So, just to be clear, normally, this isn't the forum for this discussion. I'm happy it happened. Thank you for participating in it, and thank you for the questions. When a zoning variance is up, the forum for that is the zoning hearing board, which is good at doing what they do. That's not what we do. But when we can, I'm happy, or at least if I'm running the meeting, I'm happy to conduct a discussion so that everybody can get their concerns, and it's nice to have the property owner here to address them. And so, just to let you know, though, that isn't always going to happen, because this isn't necessarily the forum. It worked out tonight. We have a short agenda and a good opportunity to do it. Yes?
I'd just like to say to the owner, yeah, I do appreciate the fact that driveway would be down there where you're talking about. It would be in my best interest, but I just do fear for them not letting you do it, kind of the line of sight from
Yeah.
traffic.
And PennDOT will handle that.
But it would be better for me. I appreciate that. I agree with you. I appreciate you taking neighbors into consideration.
I don't think that-
Also, the other thing I wanted to ask was, at what level, is it here at the planning commission, the zoning, or the supervisors? At what level do they take into consideration the impact of something like this on the neighbors?
Presumably at all those levels. So county will take it into consideration, we'll take it into consideration. Our zoning restrictions and code is designed to take those things into consideration. It can't cover everything, so we know there's opportunities for discussion. And lastly, certainly, the biggest area, if there's a zoning variance, that's where, at the hearing, that's where all this should come out, specific to this issue. So that's the keystone in a zoning variance situation, which this is.
Those are asking for not to do all the rules.
That's right.
The rules are set in place to cover all that, but whenever he wants a variance for a rule, that's where
And then the
it's
zoning,
complicated.
the hearing board can say, well, we're allowed, but this has to happen, and then that's when you guys have to listen to them.
That's correct. Yep. Yep. Okey doke. All right, good discussion, thank you. All right, so, where are we on the agenda? So that covers new business, I think. Scott, do you agree? All right, I think we had a lot of public comments there. Or any other public comments? All right.
Is that for the whole?
The whole, yes.
I had a question about, I'm not sure which plan it was, if it was Cronister or, but Ken was at the supervisor's meeting last month and was unable to get his plan signed.
Okay.
What, you guys aware of what, I mean, I don't really need specifics, but why that wasn't done and have we made any?
Wasn't on the agenda.
Yeah,
Okay,
they
but
know
why
that.
wasn't that?
Yeah, so,
I know that, I know, Ron.
I don't know. It wasn't on the
Somebody should
agenda.
know. We have
So-
a supervisor on the planning board. It's happened to Ken a couple times and he was pretty irritated. So just trying to see if that's something that can be worked on, that communication gets better between here and secretary, whoever does the agenda.
yeah, so let me address that. I wasn't at that meeting, but I've discussed this with Ken.
We were done with it as a unit.
Oh, no,
you guys-
so let me,
you guys were-
yeah.
That's not.
Let me just address
That's what I was
it
asking,
going
yeah.
forward. So two things. One is, we have done a better job, not perfect, but we've done a better job of letting the supervisors know decisions we make here and moving on to them, and Roxy's been keeping them up.
Right.
This absolutely has been a rockier time with Gus leaving. That Gus would, he wasn't perfect either, clearly, but Gus would miss those things occasionally too. But he did a pretty good job of that. So the coordination between Scott seeing our minutes and communicating that to whoever prepares the agenda, which is others, for the supervisors meeting. We're going to work on making that more crisp than it's been. And there'll still be a bit of a learning curve here as we all transition. One point I would make though, and Ken knows this, I'll tell you, if I'm the engineer and I want something on the agenda, I'm going to make sure it's on the agenda. I'm not going to assume it's going to be on the agenda. If I've got a client who's paying me to get a plan done, I'm going to make sure it's on the agenda. So that's not a shot at Ken in any way. Ken's a great engineer and a friend of the township, and he's been very good with all of us. But the engineer has a responsibility of making sure what's important to his client is on the agenda as well. So it's not just us. Yes, we can help, and yes, we can move it forward. But there are times when the engineer doesn't want it on the next agenda because if there's a delay, they're changing something, whatever it is. So we can't just assume it's to move up. We can communicate, we can ask, we approved it here. It's probably supposed to be on the next agenda. But it's not automatic. So it's all of us working together to do what's right. We don't want to torture Ken. We don't want to torture certainly the taxpayer here who wants to get their project done. But it's a team effort. So we're addressing it. I heard about it, of course. And so we're working on doing it the ways I've said.
I was pretty certain it wasn't nothing to do with the board here tonight.
It was,
Pretty
yeah.
certain.
But it wasn't, but we can help. We can help, yeah. We can help.
Did he let the township know?
I am told no, but because of the switchover with everything, it could have been missed,
I've
yeah.
seen it happen in Ken many times.
I know.
Quite some time.
I know.
More than that.
So I'm told no, but I can't be positive. That's why I don't want to blame anybody, it's
Yeah.
just,
No, and I
yeah.
get that.
Well,
Yeah.
the property owner does bear some responsibility to make sure that either his engineer or even himself, him or herself,
Yep.
make sure that it is on the agenda
Yep.
if it's your
It's
property.
important to them.
Just like anyone else, if you want it to move on, you best follow up on your engineers or attorneys or whoever, because
He just seemed more upset about it that night than before.
He was upset, I know he was
Rightfully
upset.
so.
I
Yeah,
think if I hire an engineer, I think he needs to be doing that himself, that's why I'm paying him.
yes,
Well,
To be babysitting.
you're right,
yeah,
you're
no,
right,
I agree with you.
yeah.
Yeah, we approved it and he should
Right,
have.
and like
Yeah.
I said, I was pretty certain it wasn't.
Made
Yeah.
sure it was on.
Right.
Yeah, all right,
It's not assumed it was on.
so that's the point.
Quick question. Is there someone responsible to give that information to the secretary or the board of supervisors who have, I know Pat is in charge of the agenda. I mean, that happened to that same gentleman at one of the planning commission meetings, and it was for another property, and Gus didn't have it, and he was very upset about it.
That was a mistake here,
But-
not here,
Correct,
but
yeah.
yes.
I would just, like I said.
But that's a different question, because that's a question of a different agenda. That was our agenda, not the supervisor's
But this
agenda.
is why I think this man was so upset, and then the board kind of thought it was funny. I
Well,
mean,
I'm not
nobody was
addressing
so
whether the board thought it was funny. I wasn't at the meeting.
No, I'm just stating that because
Okay,
he walked out, he was so upset, and instead of saying, okay, we're going to look into this, why this happened, it was just, oh, we don't know, and there's no responsibility taken. So that's why I was wondering, is there a special person, like Gus used to do it, I guess?
okay.
Because he was involved so heavily with it.
So the special people, to answer your question, are Roxy, who does the minutes,
Mhm.
and then that's given to Scott and then to Pat to
Okay.
work together.
So that's
That's
the
the-
chain of command?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. That's a communication chain, it's not really a chain.
Okay.
Okay,
I had one more question. It's
Yes.
about the Greenbrier Road culvert. Supervisors meeting, I brought up about the cost of these pipes. And Ron, you said something about 100 and the rock bill?
They didn't, they haven't finalized the numbers. There was a rock charge, a bad rock charge.
Okay,
So
but
that goes on top.
but is that being paid by the
Well,
township or?
Well, yeah, you're gonna have to pay it.
But we agreed to contract.
That doesn't matter. Rock is exempt
Yeah.
from contract prices.
There is no way in this world, I can pave the whole road for $160,000.
I don't know. I know
I know, I was just
they have a big rock charge.
Because it hasn't been brought up in any supervisors meetings, I
okay,
don't think.
well,
I don't think they have a final bill
I know
yet.
this isn't you guys.
it's not, it's not our issue.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't,
not us.
we shouldn't be
We
discussing.
know-
If you want to talk to Ron afterwards, talk to Ron. I don't want to be on the record and say something wrong here. Yes,
Whatever.
When I was sitting on the board, this was actually turned over
to what?
the planning commission
Okay.
about discussing these projects, so, I mean, that's part of it.
Okay. Well, it hasn't been in our mandate. It's not in our mandate now.
Well, that's why I never heard about it
Yeah.
until he brought up about it, and that just seemed, again, not you guys.
Yeah.
I'm open floor here,
Yeah.
whenever you off the camera, whatever.
No, we're on the camera, just so you know.
That just seems like a $160,000 overcharge. Some board in this township should know about that and let us know what's going on. Again, not saying it's you guys.
So it's not us
All
now.
right.
Maybe someday it will be, but it's not us now.
We're not blaming anyone.
No, I know that, I know that, I know that, I know
We
that.
need to ask
I
the
just,
question.
I
I
will ask
get
the
it.
supervisors at the next meeting.
Yeah.
Because they're the head of the hunt, and I get it.
Yeah.
I just, the only time I see that man is,
Fair enough.
that's it.
All right. Any other public comment?
I just want to thank you, Ted. You would,
Tom.
I'm sorry, Tom. Ted Decker and you run a very, very cordial and very professional meeting, and as a resident, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Yes, sir.
What kind of leeway do we have when they announce the zoning variance meeting? How far ahead of time do they announce that?
It's usually a month ahead, but it doesn't have to be. I think 14 days is the legal requirement. Does that sound right, Scott?
Yeah, it'll be,
You'll have about 2 weeks.
it'll
Has to
be
be advertised.
posted in the newspaper, and it's required to be posted on the property
Yeah, on our
a
board.
minimum of 10 days before
10
the
days.
hearing.
It'll be on the website too, I assume.
Yeah, it will be on the website.
When are the letters sent out to the neighbors, to the
The
adjoining
letters will be
neighbors?
sent when I have a date of the hearing.
Once
But
they-
is there a certain amount of time beforehand, or it's whatever a date is announced?
As soon as I get the date from the solicitor, I will send the letters out.
So it's at least 10 days is the answer.
Okay.
Okey doke. Good. All right, so I think we're done with
I make a
all of
motion.
that. Well, hold on. Let me announce upcoming meetings.
Oh, okay.
All right. Board of Supervisors meeting, August 14th. Planning Commission, our next meeting, August 25th. And the zoning hearing board, we will determine pursuant to all your questions on that issue. All right, I will entertain a motion to
I
adjourn.
make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna assume no one's opposed. Thank you. Thank you all for coming.